you even get into this field? Was it a specific event, or what influenced you?
Yeah, thank you. So, like you said, we all have negative thoughts. I definitely struggled with them a long time. I had depression, suppressed emotions, like I didn't allow myself to cry. Because I wanted to be tough. And we can get into my backstory more if you want, but essentially, I struggled with negative thoughts, anxiety, procrastination, and rage, all those things for a good part of 20 years, like most of my life. I'm 33. So essentially, I realized that I had two options because I was so miserable. I was either going to take my own life because I just could not take my being in my mind anymore, or I was going to heal and find a way to get more, to be more positive, to love life, and to thrive and reach my human potential, the potential that I knew. I knew I was smart. I knew I had a lot to offer, but I was just in my own way. My negative thoughts kept me. Some people say they can't go to sleep. I had the opposite. I just had so much anger and anxiety that I would just sleep all the time, all day, as often as I could. I wouldn't get out of bed. I would lose jobs because of it, and that kept me in just like quicksand of debt, not having money to do anything, and everyone in my life was just saying, "Oh, you're crazy. Oh, something's wrong with you." Or get your life together, figure it out. Like they would just kind of ignore me or tell me to get on antidepressants. They didn't really say go to therapy or what's wrong. They never asked me what's wrong. They just said you should be tougher. I raised you better. These types of conversations, and so it was like, damn. Like I felt like even more of a failure for not being able to be happy like everyone else. And the thing is, with my family in particular, my mom grew up in extreme poverty and had suffered a lot of abuse and trauma. So from her point of view, I had less of those things. I had, she was more financially well off. We weren't balling, but she had more, she provided more. And she's like, you should be grateful. You're so ungrateful. So these things, so it was always this reinforcing that, you know, um, you're unhappy, you're ungrateful. And it was like telling me to kind of suppress my emotions. And I was just like, I need to figure something out. If not for anybody else, but for myself. Like I said earlier, I was like, I could either kill myself or I could get my life together. And I tried a lot of things. I tried going to traditional therapy. I tried yoga. I tried praying. I tried fasting. I tried partying and being promiscuous. I tried recreational drugs. I tried, you know, yoga, all these things that people say are going to can help you feel better. And all those things did for a little bit. They were valuable in their own right. They gave me life experiences, but I would always find myself back in a cyclical depression, back in bed, back like trying to figure out why I was self-sabotaging, why I was stuck, why I was pushing good people away and surrounding myself with toxic people. So I got introduced into a holistic modality that helps me work with my subconscious mind, and we can get into that later. And once I started working with it, I saw very quickly my life turned around. I was more positive. I was more confident. I was figuring out what I really wanted, setting goals to reach those things I really wanted, achieving them to the point where I was making like $17,000 a year working in restaurants to $44,000 a year working for a financial institution, Edward Jones Investments, without a college degree because I had gone back to school, but I had that confidence in myself to achieve what I wanted with the resources that I had. And I was sitting at my cubicle one day there in like corporate America, like, damn, like I really fucking use my mind, excuse my language, to turn my life around. And I'm happier. I have happier friends, better relationships, I have more money, less anxiety, more confidence. My thoughts are more positive. I believe in myself. And All the people, I just really knew, I wrote down in that moment that I wanted to master that modality that had helped me and use it to help my people, the Black community. But I realized, like, as I was studying it and as I was getting into it, like, one, there's a huge, Black folks, we really don't go to therapy. There have been scientific studies that show we don't do that. That's a white thing. We'll just go to church. We'll just pray to it. We'll just smoke a little weed. It's like, it's not that bad. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to seem weak. So that was a challenge when I first started my practice back in 2019. And even along the way, like even back then, I was like, I really would love to help men, because on my healing journey, my boyfriends, my male friends, my family members, my platonic friends, whatever, the males in my life were also struggling, but there were very little resources marketed specifically to them that would say, hey, brother, like, it's okay, like, talk, open up. You don't have to carry this weight alone. All the messages I was getting as a woman were not being shared with men. And I saw how that was like really causing them to feel stuck, because while I was growing, I was healing and I was achieving more, and my friends and my significant others were stuck here because they couldn't get their mind right, because they were in their own way, or the stigma in society says don't go to therapy, don't go to coaches, whatever. And so, like, that was years ago. I still have friends that are here because of that stigma, and it breaks my heart. So I was like, okay, you know, since 2019, I've had it on my heart to help the Black community, specifically men, and because of all these things, if that makes sense. And I didn't go for it right away because of the stigma that we talked about, but also I felt, men would probably rather go to a man for that. They may not trust me as much. There might be like, oh, I don't want to talk to a woman for my mental health. But a lot of times marketed or ran by Caucasian men. So brothers that would go would feel like the token Black guy, or they would like look at the marketing or the brochures or the social media and be like, well, there's no brothers there, so I'm not going to go and get the healing that I'm looking for. So it was like, okay, we need to have safe spaces, just like Black women have spaces for their goddess circles, their church circles, their entrepreneur circles, whatever Black women have going on. We need at least something for men that is going to get them results, that's going to give them a safe space to be vulnerable without stigma, that's going to say, hey, like, let's get to it. And when I had earlier this year, when I looked back over my clientele since I opened the doors to my practice, I did realize that the majority of my clients had been Black men experiencing just that they had mental blocks that were keeping them from reaching their career goals, and I was helping them overcome it. So I decided to just market that full time for the community, and it's been very fulfilling ever since. Yeah.